Hello and welcome to this week's live. Let me just see if I can adjust the camera a little bit. All right. So it's not the brightest, but it is something. And I'm just trying my best so that we can still have a good insight this week. So I am in the place of my birth. Let me see if I'm live on Instagram. Just give me a moment. For some reason, it's not taking a scheduled one. So I'm just going to do my best. All right. So, welcome everyone to this week's live. This week we've changed the pattern a little bit, and instead of starting on Monday, we're doing this live on Tuesday. So I'm Samriddhi, your Cosmic Soul Whisperer, and every week we come together so that we can discuss weekly insights and bring the best of energetic enhancements, energetic upgrades. I don't know what happened to my laptop now. Oh shit. Okay, so I'm locked out of my system. Okay, I'm back here. All right. So every week we do this so that we can consciously travel with our Akash and we can make some choices. We can navigate through the energies of each week with more alignment, with more conscious choices, and so that we can make the best of all the Akashic information available to us. So let's get straight to it. So last week, a lot of themes had come up, and one of the things that stood out strongly for me last week was the themes of sessions that I've been doing. So a lot of clients that came to me last week had an overarching theme that they were not looking for the greatest life-changing decisions, but they were looking at their everyday life and they wanted to make sure that their everyday life is balanced. Their everyday life has some decision support. So I just started to reflect on my own life through that, and I found that yes, even for me, I don't need assistance with a lot of the major changes in my life at the moment. I'm not going through any major changes. I'm going through some minor adjustments, and I'd like to have more support from spirit so that I can navigate through those things well. So, if you have been tuning into this, it's possible that even you may be feeling that at this point. There may be some minor changes in your life that are needing your attention. Those small things that can so easily be ignored. But those are the things that are coming up to be considered. Those are the things that are coming up to be read at so that we can make the best decisions. We can navigate through those things well. The other thing that came up was the connection between heaven and earth. A lot of people that came to me, they always, usually I do get star seeds. So star seeds have a major problem with grounding. And by that, I mean that there is so much cosmic energy available from the higher realms. There's so much insight available from the perspectives from the higher realm that it's very hard sometimes to navigate through our physical life where we do feel that density, we do feel that shock of energy that you're downloading so much but it's not actually translating into that much information in the physical realm. So many people that have come to me over the last week have very, very rich inner lives, and the outside world is not necessarily showing that. So if you have been feeling that you're doing the work, you're really reflecting from within, you're introspecting, and you're wanting to do your best, and your outside world, your relationships, your situations, they're not reflecting that at the moment, this message may be for you. Now, over the last couple of days, a lot of intense things have been happening in my life. I mean, and intense is not necessarily good or bad. It's just an external intensity where I'm generally used to more internal intensity and outside is quite kind of quiet. I get more quiet time than talk time. And now I'm with my extended family and so there's a lot of external talk time. So I've been noticing a few patterns, energetic patterns that have been around me with the interactions I've had with the people that have been coming in. Uh, Many people are going through a lot at this time, and there is a lot of energetic. It's possible. that there may be some energetic spilling of that. And unless you as a starseed have very strong boundaries about how much compassion you can share, how much you can witness somebody, and how much you can also pay attention to your own journey, these things may start to become a little bit tiring. We sometimes choose for it to, or prefer for it to be tiring rather than rather than our loved ones suffering. So from time to time we do choose that, but that doesn't mean that we need to suffer or we need to have some kind of harm to ourselves while we're going through this process. So if you have been surrounded like me, like in this energetic pool that I'm in, where there are people around you that are going through stuff, that may be sharing things with you, but you may feel like you have some limitations, or you want to acknowledge your own inner energetic limitations as you're doing that. And the invitation is to be able to do it lovingly and gently, because these people that the energy that I'm sensing about these people in this collective for all of us is people who actually understand. They may be in a vulnerable state, they may be in spaces where they're still thinking about how to make best of their life, and that also means that uh, they may not necessarily want you to be vamped. They don't want your energy to be zapped. And so if you acknowledge them, if you share with them that, hey, as I'm doing this, I also have my own limitations, and I want to make sure that you get whatever you need to get, and I'll be able to share with you the best that you can get at the moment from me. I think that situations can start to balance. So I saw that there are many major shifts happening in people around, but maybe not necessarily your own life. Or you may be looking at your life from an objective point of view. So you may be feeling that there's so many things happening, but you're not emotionally attached to them. That's the kind of energy that I'm sensing for this week. Now, as we're already almost in the middle of the week, there's a lot of this energetic shift that you may have already felt by now, and a lot of it has to do with energetic boundaries, acknowledging our own energetic limitations and expansions, and allowing for those small decisions to take place and seeking assistance for those small decisions. Now, it may not be a big deal to decide whether to go to some place by flight or by train, or or to drive there, but those are some decisions that we are being invited to take over this week that can energetically support us well. So overall, I get a sense that these energies are more on the side of sustaining, stabilizing, and balancing. So, if you're needing that or craving for that in your life, this is a good week to manifest that and expand that aspect of yourself. And now let's get into some Akashic vision. So I'm going to tune into the collective Akash and see what vision comes up for us. And an overarching theme for this month has been going into the void. So the void space is coming specifically from this aspect of being in Adhik Mas, a month which is between time. So many things are happening that are very different, and they're outside of the regular cycles of time. So you may be in a process of making decisions between two things in your life. You may feel like time is running out, or right, time is accelerating too much, but yet there is still that lack of correspondence between the time that is going on inside of you compared to the time that's going on outside of you. Now, when I'm tuning into the collective Akash, I'm actually seeing a very ancient fortress, but it's not in the way that it would be now, not dilapidated. It is in its former glory. So this fortress in its former glory. I'm seeing it's filled with activity. It could even be, a typical Indian fort in one of the Indian kingdoms 1200 years ago. They're giving me that number specifically. And within that, there are many dances, there are many performances, there's a lot of artwork. And all of that is happening in different sections within this fortress, but there's like a larger view of the space. Now, as the Akashic vision is zooming into this field now, and I've asked my guides to share with us channeled vision for this week for everyone who's tuning into the Akashic messages for this week. So some part of this may resonate with you, and some part of it may just be for the collective, and you're in for the ride. So again, pick whatever is resonating with you, and if there are other aspects that unconsciously or subconsciously need to work with you, you'll actually see them unravel for you over the week. So this fortress, in its former glory, is back in that time of its highest peak state. And within that, there are all these performances happening. There's a lot of art, there's a lot of culture that is being expressed within this fort. And as that is continuing to happen, I'm now seeing lots of birds coming in, a lot of bird energy is stepping in. And these are not your low flying birds. These are high flying birds. So birds that are found on high mountains. I'm seeing eagles. I'm seeing those kind of birds, vultures. I'm seeing birds with like really really big wings. They are huge creatures, huge beings. So these birds are kind of flying all around. I do see some vultures. I know that, in the dream, in our normal conversation, we don't consider vultures to be very lucky, because we feel like they're here to pick up what is already decaying. Now, that's actually a good thing. If you look at condor, which is one of the birds, the most sacred bird, I mean, apart from the hummingbird, of course, in South America and their native traditions, the mother condor, she is a very feminine bird. She is all about nature's balance. She cleanses things that are ready to be released and reprogrammed into the matrix of the creation in a new way. So there's a balance in nature. She doesn't believe in wastage. She doesn't believe in letting rotten things rot. She enhances that. She makes them better. So there is that energy of redefining, repurposing things in our life. So if there is something that has been lying around for a while and you've not been paying attention to it, it's time for us to start, for you to start looking at it and consider if there's a use of it within this particular setup. And it is possible that you may have needed something like that. It just needed a little repurposing. So there may be a problem, there may be a solution, but the solution is coming from an unconventional way by repurposing something you already have. I'd just ask you to pause if that's possible, and think about a situation where you're looking at a solution externally, but the solution is possible within you by just repurposing something or some resource that you already have. And from there, I see the third energy is shifting into a very celestial energy. This energy is almost like the state of nirvana, the state of moksha, and it's a very peaceful energy. So I do see that all of this activity, all of this connection with art, with culture, with richness, is coming in to really contribute to the balancing, repurposing. And once that balancing, repurposing is done, lots of energetic loops that were open and lying around are starting to close. And as they close, of peace that is offered in this week. There's a lot of peaceful energy coming through this week. And I think that all of us, and no matter where we are, we could use a little bit more peace, some more peace in our lives. So there's that peaceful energy coming through. Now, for, the assisting energies for this are the archangels themselves. They're coming in the power of 13. So 12 archangels with 13, the 13th being you, an amalgamation of all the 12 blessings, all the 12 rays coming and meeting within your body. So that's kind of the energy of this week. Now, along with the 12 archangels, primarily this navigation is taking place with Archangel Metatron. So there's a lot of shift occurring this week. Now, this is really opposite to the message that I was sharing in the beginning. So it's really possible that there are many things that are happening in your life that may feel small, like small decisions, but they are divinely guided, and they're actually coming in from a lot of substance in the long term. So if you decide to go on this particular path and take that small decision, that will lead to a couple of other small decisions that start to build some new direction, a new timeline for yourself. So think about something in your life that is seeming like a small decision, whether you want to go and meet a certain person, you want to go to a certain place, or take care of a certain opportunity or create a certain opportunity. And it may look like a small step, but it is the beginning of a new timeline. So there are a few things that we do which don't generally change that much over time. Like, you like a certain toothpaste, and you continue to use that same brand over the next period of time, maybe a couple of months or years even, because that suits you and you don't need to change that. But imagine if you decided that, okay, you know what, I've not changed my toothpaste, I'm going to try a new one and see how that impacts my long term. That may even begin a new timeline. And that's why all of these things are coming in small decisions, not maybe not as small as toothpaste, but things that can really potentially start to create new timelines. So along with the archangels, the supporting energy is Kalima. So Kalima is coming in a very beautiful form. I had a very beautiful conversation day before yesterday with one of my mom's cousins, and this conversation was profound about Kamakshi and Kamakhya. So Kamakhya is a temple which is in Guwahati, the capital of Assam, and it's a very ancient sacred temple. And during the time of new moon, this it's considered to be the period cycle of this goddess. So for 3 days, the ceremonies and the temple, the energetics of the temple are so profound that a lot of things happen there. Now, one of the things that happens is if you allow yourself to go with pure devotion and sit there and allow just these energies to work with you, many deep psychic gifts start to open for you. So the way she told me, she used the word Brahmagyan. So Brahmagyan, in very simplistic form, is the knowledge of the cosmos through your soul's awareness. So many different deeper portals of your soul begin to open as you tune into this energy. And then we started discussing how there are many rules in different Indian temples about women stepping into temples during their periods. So it came up that if the goddess herself is having her periods, that restriction doesn't apply anymore, because this is primarily a feminine temple, and it is built to assist with enhancing feminine power. And that's not necessarily just for women, that is equally important for men. We also want men to be in touch with their femininity. We want them to also be able to receive love, nurture, and listen. So when we want these things in the masculine, there is always, we are looking at a balance. So that's the energy coming in. And this Kamakhya is stepping in with her powerful energy, the powerful and really pregnant energy of the void. So, continuing the theme of this month, which is the time between time, she sits in this space where she allows us to be in her womb. She allows us to rebirth ourselves, and she allows us to absorb the cosmic energies. And it is said that until a child has their hair and it's not shaven off, whether it is in their first year or third year or fifth year, it's always supposed to be shaven off in the odd years. I'm learning all these new things by being here and listening to stories. They are in touch with their other life memories. They are in touch with their Akash. They know what's going on at a soul level. And that's a beautiful blessing. So, allowing yourself to be in that state of a child whose birth hair is still on their head, and allowing yourself to really just be in this pregnant pause within this energy of the womb of the mother, and allow yourself to receive these cosmic energies. So I'm going to bring through some light language activation, allowing for us to receive these blessings. So all those small decisions that are here for you to take, they are poised for you to choose, they begin to expand for you. And she begins to bring in some lessons and blessings. Along with that, we also work with archangels. Archangel Metatron is here to smoothen the speed with which transformation is occurring in your life. So, if you're in a position to close your eyes and listen to this message, I welcome that. But if you're on the move, you can simply witness this and listen to the recording in the live replay on YouTube. Anasala Shurunuku. So, for those of you who find this new, this is light language activation. It's the language of the soul. It is not a language that the logical mind may understand. So, allow your soul, your heart, your energy to receive this. Things may happen in your body, things may happen in your heart space. Simply just allow this, and bring in your guide, bring in the one that you pray to come and sit next to you, so that this conversation can be deep and safe, and feel safe for you if you're feeling afraid. Anasara, fear has been coming up this week. Iyalana sukura takashi anasulashi anasarasha. So she first starts off with creating boundaries. Iyalana shurunu surukuna taka. These boundaries are sacred boundaries. Yalana shurunu su itakala shunu surushunu suruku. So in the story that I was sharing with you, the sanctum sanctorium, the main aspect of the temple, is a place where not everybody is allowed to go, and it's a very restricted area. Now, it's I don't know how. I think in a lot of places that have a lot of crowd or tourists, a lot of things happen if you pay a little extra money or tip somebody. So this incredible lady that I'm speaking to mentioned to me that if you pay a little bit extra, they'll allow you to come and see that sanctum sanctorium, which is nothing but symbolically the inside the womb space of the goddess. Now, when she got this opportunity and she went there, she heard the goddess speak to her, and I've asked energetic permission from this lady so that I can share her experience, because it is so sacred, and I believe that there was a message that was something around, if it was meant for you, you would have received that anyway. Paying for some additional experience to come and experience this with me will not do any good. It's like paying to come and see the womb of the mother. That's not. That removes the sacredness from it. It dilutes the magic of it, and we don't need to do that. We don't need to, have, like, let's say if somebody says you chant, then some people do 108 beads of chanting, and some people do 1008. So then whatever numbers you put, it's only for an ego and less about the devotion. So as long as you stay true, even one chant of your god, goddess, whoever you pray to, whoever you're connecting with, one sincere attempt can do the work that things that you're doing thousands of times because that is a big number and you feel like that will qualify you to get the blessings, may not be able to do. So allow yourself to know that form, that scale means nothing for creation. Scale means nothing for the goddess, the great goddess that is here for you and me. No matter which religion, which background you come from, the great mother goddess is that aspect of creation that birthed you into being. Yalana Surushana Sukuna Takalana Shukasara. And you don't need to do anything extra to come and sit in this safe womb space. All you need to do is make sure that you're surely here. So if there's somebody who's trying to come into that space, like let's say you're meditating and somebody just wants to come and have a conversation with you, which is not important for you at that time. It's important to set that and to try and do that as kindly as possible. I've been experiencing that a little bit, where I've been trying to maintain my boundary, and sometimes it's coming out very matter of fact. And because I live in Australia, for me, whatever is matter of fact, maybe culturally a bit too direct in India. So I've been kind of facing that. So it's a message for me as well as for anyone tuning into this and you feel it's relevant, that try and communicate your boundaries with as much love as possible, as much balance as possible. But the maintaining of that boundary is important because you are in a very pregnant space of creation. And within this time, there is a lot of healing taking place on the parts of you that need to be held. So, Alana Shurakana Sarasha Ana Salashi. So if there is nobody listening to you, know that she is always here to listen to you. Iana Salashinukura Nasa Inasha. She's filling our hearts with so much love. Iana Salashinukura Nasha Anasa. She's got eyes that are full of love and they are fierce as well. This is a kind of fierce love. which has a lot of compassion too. So it's very hard to imagine, but if you just let it, the image of the goddess may come to you in this form, in this expression. Alana shurukuna sarasha, so that you know that ferocity is actually for to protect you rather than to actually block you. Yalana shurunu suku sha'alana takura sa'ana sharasala sha'a. Yana sala shunaka. Lots of heart clearing is taking place. Yana shurunu sukula na sha'asara. Deep unprocessed grief. Yalana shurunukura shakala siyana shukuna sarasha asa. Voices deep within your heart that you've not been acknowledging. Iya sarana shukurasa are being heard by the goddess. Yalana shuru sunushuku. So over the week, you may find that even with this energetic attunement and any interaction that you have within yourself with the great goddess, and however you see this great goddess, I want to give her the name vibration of Kamakhya Devi. Yalana Shirukunasha. She is here to listen to what you've not been trying, what you've been avoiding listening yourself. So parts of you that want to be heard, but you're not listening, she is here to listen to those parts. Ya Hana Shiruku. And those things don't make you good or bad, they just make you loved. Ya Alana Surushuni Asarasha Anasala. Now they're showing me within this collective, this symbolic fortress in its past glory is showing the anchoring of timelines within your soul where the highest possibilities exist. So maybe in this timeline, you're looking for a job and you're not finding the right job or the right opportunity or the right business opportunity, something related to your life purpose. Those things are not becoming clear for you at the moment. But if you look at it, if you tune in way back in your soul's memory, you may find some parallel realities or past life realities, other realities where you did it, where you achieved it, and where it really brought you so much benefit. So, this is about the superposing of those timelines so that it was possible for you then. So, you can do it now and you can do it again. Your soul knows how to do it again. Ala nashiruno sunukusha. So, this week is about looking at your other lives or past lives or parallel lives to bring in the gifts, the benefits, the memory that you have done it and you've got this, and bring that into your timeline now. Yala Nashuruku. That's why this pregnant pause. That's why this space within space where there is no time, so that you can borrow the highest timelines from other timelines, and you can borrow other timelines so that you can make this one your highest timeline. Yahala Nashuru Sunushi Asala. So that's the ancient fortress in its past glory, superimposing in your present reality. Yana Sara Shunu Sukula Nasha Asara. Sha'asaha. So the fortress is generally about protecting the kingdom, right? And yet the fortress that we saw had a lot of culture, had a lot of music and dance and art. So there are creative ways in which we can build and guard what is sacred to us, and especially your heart. Your heart is the most sacred. What can be more sacred than your own heart and the true desires in your own heart? So this is the time to really listen to your heart. Maybe there is something that you've gone way deep, but actually now you decide that you don't want to do it. That's okay. It's time to listen to that. Maybe it's not time to make those decisions just yet, but it is time to listen to those things and allow them to sit with you. Allow them to have their voice too, for they too have a presence and a place in the cosmos. And if you allow them, then they can all thrive and you can make a decision based on truth of the highest vibration. Yalana Shurusianasha Kalasha Ana Sarasha. The bird energy is also about the higher perspective, soaring high above the normal and the regular, and to be able to see. And I see that, over the last couple of months, the birds have become stronger and stronger in our energy field. Even now, I can hear a lot of birds in the background. I'll see if you can see something from the window. I don't think that you're able to see it from here because of the reflection, but no, it's because of the lighting. But there's definitely some really beautiful trees here. There are birds here. There are beautiful gardens and flowers. So I'm in a really wonderful place here, and just bringing in the energy and the blessings of healing and blessings and healing from nature. Yanasarashulunatukurasha. So now the archangels are stepping in, because remember, Archangel Metatron is really working with us at this time. So anything related to time and transformation, Archangel Michael is always there. So for a period of time in my life, I saw Archangel Metatron almost every day, and he would be there like this Metatron's cube, and he would kind of keep moving in this way, and he would show me that he's present and his blessings are here, and I can feel that very same blessing at the moment during this transmission. Yalana shurutukuno shuina sarasha ala hita karosu no shui sarasha. Now, new and ancient Atlantean codes are stepping in. These codes about mastery with time. Excuse me. Alanasha Sarakana Tukurasha. So the right time is now. So if you've been thinking that, oh, I don't want to think about it right now, this is the time to think about it. You don't need to make a decision this week, if unless you actually have to. But this is a time to listen to those unsaid aspects of you and allow those to play themselves out in your energy field. And that allows for Metatron to work with you, because the work of Metatron is to iron out and to smoothen your transition between timelines. I sometimes see him like creating these ladders between the different timelines, so that when we jump, we don't actually have to jump. We can actually just climb the different ladders or the different bridges between timelines. So he makes the transition between timelines smoother. So if you're looking at some big transitions in the coming time, Archangel Metatron is already on it right now. And all you need to do is allow that energy to be with you. Now, along with that, there is a lot of technology support this week. Now, there are some weeks when we have technological glitches. So, everything you're trying to do, glitches and things, there are interruptions and things like that. But this particular week, technology is actually sending messages to you. So, if you're trying to call somebody and it's you're not able to connect with them, or the call hangs up at an odd time and you're particularly speaking about something, it's just time to notice what were you trying to talk about, and is it something in your highest good to talk about it. So technology is on your side this week as well. This is another message that's coming in as we're tuning in with the avians, because avians you look at anchoring us to the highest vibrations, and sometimes that also means taking care of us and our needs with technology and communication, because birds are also about communication. So that's the message that they are bringing in. And if you do feel like, okay, I did get interrupted twice when I was speaking of that, maybe I'll just pause that and think about either how to articulate it in a different way, or pause before I consider speaking about it at this time. Maybe it's not the right time. Yeah, hana sara shunukuna saralanasha. And at the end of this vision, we saw a beautiful, white, blissful state. And this blissful state is not something that's coming at the end week, but it's something that's available to us throughout the week whenever you choose and make yourself available for it. So if there is a part of you that wants to have some peace, it's time to claim it. Even if you claim it in small packets, it's important to do that. A peaceful cup of tea, just sitting by yourself and just looking at whatever you need to look, or closing your eyes and doing it, or sitting with and just really having a nice, beautiful, quiet time with them. All of that spaciousness is offered this week, and there is peace in these quiet moments. And I'm also feeling a lot of this relaxed energy around the stomach area. So the heart is expanding and charging and receiving upgrades. And to balance those upgrades, the solar plexus is balancing and bringing you silent inner power, silent inner strength. And as you allow the silent inner strength, it's a beautiful way to expand your capacity to balance, expand your capacity to be in different situations in a balanced way. So, all of these messages and so much more, I'd love to know for all the people who've joined. First of all, welcome everyone who's been joining. And if you have any questions, if there is a word coming up for you, or if any part of this has resonated, please leave it in comments. Those on YouTube, you're also very welcome to do that now or later or later on YouTube. And you know that I always reply to all comments. So maybe my simpler question would be, which part of this message today has resonated with you and is working with you. So I'd love to know how this message is going for you and which part of it really felt like home. And I'm quite fascinated that every week I bring through these messages, and sometimes I don't know what the background of it is, but I bring it through anyway, because my job is to not filter it out. I just for my job is to translate that in the most loving way possible, but to bring through that truth of the message. And I find that at least one or two people come back to me saying, hey, you said that and this is what happened in my life. Hey, you spoke about that color and this is the color in my life. Or there are things that come up. So I'm very grateful. So this channeled messages pretty much us co-creating it. I translate it, so I'm just the speaker, or I'm just the output device, but it's all coming in from our collective. So I'm receiving a message here saying, my family rescued an injured parrot earlier this week, and I felt my communication improved in the day after. Coincidence? No coincidences. So thank you so much, Joy, for sharing that. It's just such a beautiful message. Animals definitely are these messengers, especially birds. So how beautiful that this bird is coming in to enhance the communication vibration in your life. And I'd love to continue to know what happens and how your interaction with this bird continues. And thank you so much, everyone. I feel like I really value this co-creation every week. I look forward to every Monday, and this time I have to do it on a Tuesday. So I really appreciate that you all gave me the spaciousness and allowed me to keep change things a little bit as I'm doing it, because for me this is really important. It's kind of like a part of this collective self-development, in a way where it makes sense now. The whole week makes sense. Okay, this was the message that came through, so now this is making sense. So it's kind of like a guiding light for me, and hopefully for you too, all these messages that come through. In a final prayer, I want to bring in Kamakhya Devi, Kamakhya Mother, and I also want to bring in Archangel Metatron, so that they can support us. While I also see the bird energy, the avian energy, allowing us to access technology and understand spiritual messages through technology and its glitches, so that we can navigate through our boundaries, navigate through our communication with grace, elegance, and with respect for all, of course, including yourself, and foremost for yourself, because then you can respect others even more. So I'm very grateful for all of this co-creation. If you would like to have a one-on-one session with me, you're very welcome to book a one-on-one reading with me. I'll leave the links in the description. And of course, we also had a collective group Akashic meditation. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to watch that video for the month. There were some beautiful messages that came through that time as well. We went into a Stargate, and we also went into Orion Nebula, which is such a beautiful place to be in. That's the kind of white, blissful energy I was seeing today. So thank you so much. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to walk alongside you and for us to go create this. I'll see you next week. So much love. Have a beautiful week ahead. Mwah. So I'm just going to end this recording here.